Oh, I think I might be live. Um, Hi everyone. We might have to wait just a little bit to see if more people turn up because this is perhaps the most disorganized stream I've had all year. Um, and the reason for that is on Saturday, maybe Sunday, I said to my wife, "How about on Wednesday I get us a Christmas tree?" Wednesday came and went, and I forgot to get the Christmas tree. And she said, "Fine, I'll get it on Friday." She went out to go and get the Christmas tree. Hey, that blasted Sam with lunch. And good afternoon to everyone else. She went to the largest shopping centre for miles and miles around. Nothing. They're all out. And I'm like, uh-oh. So she's like, "You're going to have to find one anyway." This is at about 1:30. It's now 3 o'clock. So I've been running around town for the last hour and a half trying to find one of the last Christmas trees that's actually been available. Hi, Thomas. Um, and that was an adventure because I went to about 6 different places on my mission and I ended up having to go significantly out of town and they had 2 left. And it was very small and perhaps one of the most saddest Christmas trees, but we fortunately tend to adopt the saddest Christmas tree. So, yeah, that was that. And then we have the other major upset that we've had this year. Sorry, not this year, this week. And that is with the fact that Lieselot has been sick. Remember, a Christmas tree means that you practice witchcraft. Oh, how did you know? I do not celebrate Christmas for the Christian value of it. Not that there's very much left, since it's very much a pagan holiday that was usurped by Christianity when it was trying to convert the masses. I think it's a Germanic thing. Anyone ever asked themselves why they serve, Christmas ham, considering the fact that this is a forbidden food to Jesus? Anyway, moving on. It says a Christmas stream, but honestly, it's just emergency Christmas was the situation I was in 5 minutes ago. And so I was significantly stressed, but yeah, it was, hang on. Voice is working, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, great. I was worried there for a second that it wasn't. Voice 2, I read, so I don't know what you mean by that, Stosh, I am. But anyway, welcome guys to the stream. I'm Ben from Second Dynasty. I make 3D printable spaceships. This week has been hectic. Not just because it's Christmas, and this is something maybe not a lot of people know about me, because I don't tend to bitch about things very often. But I don't like crowds, and I try to avoid them at all costs. So I try to do my Christmas shopping either online or very early, and I try to do all the other shopping associated with that, because I'm usually the person going to the store. Hey, mon capitan, your latest paint job is awesome. Some great traveler miniatures. Maybe I can find some pictures of that, actually. Let's see. I really enjoyed that. I don't think I managed to comment because, as I mentioned, I was quite stressed. Let's see, can I open this in a browser and knock it out here? Mon Capitan. Fantastic work. Really good stuff. But yeah, so it has been a day so far, and now I've realized I'm now missing which window the live stream's in. Okay, here it is. So yeah, now we have this beautiful model we'll have as a backdrop as I talk. Stupid sexy spacesuit Flanders. So yeah, it's been a stressful week, but on top of everything else, unfortunately, Lieselot is down with a cold, which has meant what? I've had to pick up the slack to get the Delta out, which means I haven't done pretty much any work on the Traveller stuff, unfortunately. Now, John, on the other hand, has been, getting all the stuff out, one after the other. Um, don't worry, we'll be working next week to make sure that we get some Traveller releases out before the new year. But I really wanted to get the Delta out in time for Christmas, and hey, it's actually out. So there is that. It's actually out right now. If you own a Delta in any way, the Delta being this ship here. Now, this black stuff is actually just a light blocker. Let's see, block a hole, and then we want the 2400 layout switch to that, and we want the interior light switch to that. Okay, so yeah, I've been doing some beautiful renders. Let's see, let's turn that off. Not too much has changed in it, but what am I doing? You guys don't want to see Maya yet again. The same boring thing you guys have seen for the last 3 weeks in a row. No, you want to see results. Ugh. And we have results. So this is the... Oh, I'm missing a part. I forgot to attach the front prongs there on the underside. They are printed, as is the turret. It's just not attached right now. There is a minor print flaw. I ended up breaking the cage there in the cockpit. There's no interior at the moment, but this is the new Delta 1700. And I feel a bit stupid naming it that, since I realized afterwards that it wasn't 2017 that we released the Delta, it was actually 2019. So it should be the the 1900. But what are you going to do? Everything's named now, it's released, so we're going with it. So yeah, the problem though was the documentation, and it has been a long time since I have actually worked in design. So very much missing Lisa Lott's talents this week. I will just open this up, I guess, to show it off. Maybe we can do the 2-page layout thing. How do we do that? This one? No? And they changed everything in this, and now I don't know where to find everything. Let's see. View. Page display, 2-page view. So this is the cover. Then we have our manual. And I want to just, I don't know that she's here today. She probably isn't. But I want to thank Kathy from Kathy Modeling, because she provided the photos of the new version. Essentially, the version she had that she did at 35mm was the version exterior-wise that we've gone with. So this is pretty much spot on. You can see it has the missile launcher there. That's actually that makes it the, I don't know what that flashy thing is. I'm going to call it Adobe, because Adobe. So very comprehensive. I have done a fair bit of work that will streamline making these things more in the future. I even updated this old graphic. You know, we have more details and tips. Let's see. And then we have, you know, the parts lists and all of that. I had to make sure everything worked with, as far as on John's side. I need to move this step 7 thing. So that'll need a slight update. But yeah, we have all of it. So it's in 3DO as well. Yeah, this was a lot more work than I was expecting. And on top of that, you know, the wife she always has this really intensive period right before we've released the deck plans of it. If Dalton had his way, he would do that, but no, he's cut off from all deck plans until delivery is made of the promised stuff from last year. In the future, yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe just this kind of render that we already have, something like that. So yeah, this is just what I'm calling the 1700 layout. Again, it's been released. If you own the Delta, you can download it now. I'm about to send out some send-outs after the stream to notify people of the winter sale. And I also would preferably like to get our sort of like, a dummy page up for the, I want to say Kickstarter, but I'm thinking no, it's Frontier. It's going to be on Frontiers, yeah. So, yeah, I'm happy with the way the documentation came out. I have a lot of work still to do today, so I don't know what we're going to do because I know you guys must be totally sick of this thing. The time slots we got from my mini factory for advertising, basically, let's put it this way. Kickstarter, you can generate a lot of momentum, and just by sharing on social media, that will draw more attention to the Kickstarter. My mini factory doesn't have anything like that, so the only time where we see a significant effect of, sending stuff out to our is when we send stuff out to our pre-existing customers on day one, and when my mini factory put it in their newsletters. So we have a newsletter slot. The next one available wasn't until February 6th. That's what we're taking. We've also got the 22nd of February, which will be Second Dynasty Day. And I need to figure out if I need to do more than a completely new, not completely new, but new interior layout. If that's enough to justify the cost difference, the relaunch of the 2400. Because the thing is, and John is probably there, like, shaking his head saying, I told you so, but, yeah, I changed literally everything. The only thing that hasn't changed yet, as far as I can tell, is this piece and this piece. I believe that's it. Yeah. That means everything else has changed. I basically rebuilt it. Which was stupid. I could have been doing other things these last 3 weeks, so I do hope that the changes are enjoyed by the customers. I mean, it's stupid from a financial standpoint. Yeah, 22nd, you see what I did there, exactly. Delta 1700 of the Theseus. Do you mean like the Theseus is in the Alien one, or? It looks very good. That's nice to know. That is nice to know that its aesthetics are enjoyed. What I'm considering doing for the 2400 is, instead of having this base model, I could do a production version of, where did it go? The top cockpit version. So get rid of this one, put the cargo airlock back in, do a different turret, I think. It's still the same ship if you replace every part. Like the Grandfather's Axe paradox. Yeah, so, in any case, that's one option. I don't know. Maybe I am overthinking things. I have a tendency to do so. Yeah, I don't know. Extra rambly today. I did make some more progress on this ship. There are some parts that are more or less ready for printing. Like, for example, this just needs exporting. I solved the wings with these sliding clips, because this is a mechanism I have used on the Delta. Actually, this is one of the most recent changes. Because the other thing, too, is I've been test printing, which means I run into issues and I'm like, this isn't good enough, or this isn't good enough, or this isn't good enough. And so one of the areas where I thought this wasn't good enough has bothered me for a while. We still don't have an interior solution for it. I don't know if we'll be bothered doing it. But you can see here now, this part I printed out, and this used to be squared off, like there. And it would print from here. And then I realized we have a bunch of overhangs here. So I can probably actually show you. Is this the older part? No, it's over there. of the misprints. Like, it printed out alright, but there was some curling here in the beginning because there's just nothing supporting this stuff, right? Um, so yeah, I redesigned it so it would print this way, and we used sliding clips that you insert in. So I need to still test it. I think this will work. In any case, it's not the only joint, and we don't have a wall to fill that hole, which annoys me a little bit, but not enough that I would change it at this point. Let's see, you guys have been talking. The ship of Theseus. Oh, is Theseus the... It's the other one that's not the Odyssey, isn't it? Or in... Oh, the Trigger's broom. I still don't know what that means. With a single stretch section in the middle, question mark, for what? Where's it being stretched? Or are you talking about the Traveller slow boat? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in good form today. I haven't eaten all that much. I haven't drunk very much. I was stressed. I thought my wife was about to divorce me because I couldn't find a Christmas tree. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. So let's get back to the small craft, I guess. I think Glitch is asking if there will be a stretch variant. Of which ship, though? Do you mean the Delta? Or do you mean, like, the Traveller ships? Let's see, Totally Glitch says, if you release another version of the Delta, have it include the stretch with spinal hanger. Maybe. I don't know. I do not know. I will give it some thought. Maybe I'll do something completely new, because I can tell you, we can maybe have a blast from the past here. I'm just gonna, should turn on some layers here so that this isn't empty when I come back to it. Let's see, 1700 interior, and then we go to File Save. So if I look at some really old files in here, let's see, all-rounder, there should be a variant one. So let's see, maybe if I sort by name, all-rounder concept, variants render. And this one was done in 2020. So let's open it. The shaders will not work. And I don't think the extended version is in this scene. I'm not entirely sure. This green stuff here you can see because the incorrect shader is on. So all I need to do here is put the default shader on and it just puts a grey on it. And I realized when I was exporting, like, this isn't the print version here, see? It's just a render version. Then I realized maybe there is this version. Is that printable? Yeah, that's printable. So ironically I should have probably just printed that as it is, but I think I made it that way so you could put the door in. Yeah, I never loved, well, you know what, coming back to it, I prefer this more than what I imagined. This was our sort of like offset bridge solution. We did have more of a curve. Let's see, I can't select that background, can I? It's been a really long time since I've looked in these. Let's see, I'm guessing this ground one is what we were looking for, so yeah, we had a couple of different variants. I guess this was for rendering, so you had the side bridge. You know, this isn't as bad as I remember it. Like, it is a bit dorky. I'd probably do it differently if I did it today. But we kind of almost did do a system of passengers and neck pieces and that sort of thing. I think there's I could have sworn we did an extended neck version. But, yeah, I don't know. We did all these different turret variants, this upstairs variant. I think this one it's just like, it's not a cockpit, it's like a viewing area or something. So much simpler. This one's just a bunch of turrets. And some of these now are just like basically, you can do it by default. I think that's the base version. Wait, did the base version have 2 turrets? I don't know. I haven't named all of these ones. Maybe I've grouped them. Nope. This is in a ship called Group 6. Let's see. For Trigger's Broom, the clip is definitely on YouTube, says Tamsin. Fair enough, I'll have to look that up after the stream. Q DHD says, I understand the rework is perhaps not something that eases the mind from a business point of view, but just saying it looks bloody amazing, Ben. Okay, thank you. That does help me hearing this stuff. And yeah, if you have the Delta, you've got it now. Again, it's out. The 1700 is out. I just need to sort of pimp it, and hopefully, it will. Maybe it'll do well in the sale now, and anyone who buys it now, 2400, it'll be basically a $10 upgrade with the discounts. I think we're just gonna do, rather than an upgrade version like we've done, where it's like, yeah, Scout's Honor, Scout's Honor that you guys will pay for the correct one, and it's actually technically just leads to the same product. Instead of doing that, I think we're just gonna, because it's a Frontier, we can do a discount. So we'll do like a 75% discount. Say that the ship is, I don't know, $40. You guys pay 10, something like that. So if you do want to support the upgrades, get an alternative interior, maybe a little bit of variance. You could do that. Hey, Justice Toriason. Let's see. The viewing area one was a cockpit in my headcanon. No, there is a version, like there's this version, right, which just has a sort of room up there. And again, when we were doing Delta and the beta and everything, we weren't doing, final deck plans. This has been an issue. One of the reasons why the Delta has taken so much longer is it didn't have a default deck plan. We had our version of it, but yeah, you can see here is the version with a cockpit upstairs instead. So it does exist, and I like that it's like not like this looks a bit more bolted on. Yeah, I don't know. So I'd like to work on this again. It would be nice doing a campaign where we can do a couple of stretch goals. I don't think I'd do the same thing. Jeez, I think I've hurt my hand. That's not great. I need this hand. It's my mouse hand. I agree with Anna Q DHD. You've done a superb job in updating the Delta. Thank you, Tamsin. Thank you, Mon Capitan, who +1 that. It is really nice to hear. The workmanship is amazing, I'll agree. Just not the ship for me, but I'll recommend it to anyone. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Obviously, this is quite a marketable ship, or it would be if Disney hadn't ruined Star Wars, maybe. But yeah, the truth of the matter is that it's there's still a lot of work to do this year. I mean, I need to do a new product for next month for the tribes as well. I need to get out, these stretch goals for the small craft. Jeez, is this my body telling me to slow down or something? Seriously, like, I'm having trouble using my fingers. I don't know if I pulled it or something when I was sorting out the Christmas tree. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we go. My plan is to get this out by the end of the day. So I better get cracking on that. I did. My wife has already done the stable today, so I'm not in a rush to leave. But yeah, these modifications, at least the wing, is just going to have regular open lock clips on the inside, so we can actually go and merge some of these right away. We just need to change the location of these locks before we lock it in, because again, it's going to slide. So the thing is, we'll have these sliding clips. It'll go in from like, you'll slide this side of the wing in, like stick it in there and then slide it across, and it'll clip in the midsection, and the rear section will do the exact same thing. So you'll end up with extra strength there, hopefully. Maybe not as much as like a full clip or something, but... Hello, Solo Spirit, welcome. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But the Delta, yeah, I'm excited to get it. Oh, God, yeah, there really is just so much going on. I was just thinking that I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get the Delta out. So yeah, lots to do. So I think we'll just snap that. Change the snapping point. It would be really good to have this done. It's not a complicated design change. Um, yeah, I don't. I think I can get it done before Christmas. I don't know if I can get it all done today since I need to promote the Delta. But see, the other thing that's the issue with the Delta is that the sorry, I'm a bit distracted. The Delta does have a slight issue when it comes to. Oh, damn it, that's not lined right. It's meant to be up that end. Oh well. It does have a slight issue when it comes to promotion because ideally I don't want to be promoting it until we have a dummy page up for the 2400 campaign because it's like, hey, here is the free Delta upgrade. The reason it's free is this. Save the date. You know, missing that could mean missing a huge amount of sales. And like, I wasn't thinking a great deal of money, but it's kind of turning into basically what the Shuttle Alpha Mark IV was. I do remember saying I wouldn't do that again, but I think it's a good smaller campaign. We're going to have to like the alien ship is gonna have to take the bulk of the year up, and we'll do a smaller campaign for its items. Sorry, not its items, for its lifeboat slash smaller ship. Something that you could easily use in the alien universe. But yeah, it could take some time to not take some time, sorry. It needs to be all timed correctly. So I think we'll probably do the alien shuttle style ship in April, maybe. So if we do the Delta in February, then we have Second Dynasty Day, and then we do that for April, and we do the main ship in September. So yeah. Engineer here, it should be plenty strong. What, the Delta or? Oh, the wing, yes. Yeah, if I put the align these right. So let's go for one last time. This is why I'm moving the clips, because the way it's all sliding. So yeah, I do feel like I'm like repeating myself a lot lately. Maybe it's like also the end of year stress. There's definitely a lot of stress today. I seriously thought I wasn't going to find a Christmas tree. Yeah. Usually my wife does the bulk of stuff, and I've really tried to, I guess, make myself more available this year to do some of the Christmas tasks. And the one thing, you know, I'm supposed to be responsible for when they run out of Christmas trees, that would have sucked. We only live in a fairly small town, which is why that might be possible. This is a case of where I've modified and added some clips in that honestly we probably don't need. Because the way the sliding clips work, I guess technically it could still work though, because you slide the clips in first maybe and then put the wing on, but yeah, that should be plenty of strength. Let's see. Totally Glitch says, making the lifeboat and selling it as a promotion for the alien ship would be amazing. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. And then the other thing too is, provided that it's on schedule, Alien Romulus comes out in August. So it's like, see the movie, hope it doesn't suck. Presumably it's actually going to have aliens in it though. because it's between Alien and Aliens. So, yeah. Sorry, I needed a sugar rush there. Okay, let's integrate these clips and these. Mesh, combine. So this should be fairly easy to make solid now that we know where everything's going. And that's half the challenge, honestly. It's probably best if we have about 5 divisions here. So let's just do a simple bridge. 4 divisions we need if we want 5 polygons. My thinking being, basically, around the middle, we want to extrude these together. And we're basically just covering this geometry. So, totally glitch. Trying to help my lady friend with baking, but the dust from Christmas decorations messed with my throat. And now you're forced to watch this stream instead. Lovely. That blasted summer flange says, "What are the chances of a new Aliens movie sucking?" Okay. Here's my thought. I don't think it'll suck anywhere near as much as Covenant. Ridley Scott doesn't have the best idea about where, this is a bit of a hot take, Alien went after his film. And so, of course, naturally, it's a universe he didn't really create it. He directed the film. So he was involved in the creation, absolutely. That's not what I'm saying. But, like, there were other people involved. What is it, Dan O'Bannon and stuff, probably. Like, the people that wrote the script. I mean, the entire team. Like, it wouldn't be the same thing without Scott and Giger and Dave O'Bannon and Ron Cobb and all that incredible team that made it happen. So I'm not trying to dismiss their role in things at all. But I'm just saying, like, obviously the Alien universe grew beyond the first film. And it was quite clear from Covenant that Ridley Scott was frustrated with it, and people didn't like the cerebral concepts behind Prometheus, maybe, but I don't know. There was a lot of stupidity in Prometheus as well. I think there are a lot of characters that you're Wayland, you're hiring the best of the best, and you end up with the worst possible people on your team, insofar as, like, geez, what's going on here? I need that to go down to 3. It's like 2 divisions. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, I mean, like, the people were making horrible decisions. Now, that's something you do in a horror film if there's a good reason for it. But, I mean, that's the thing. Prometheus looked good, but the characters were somewhat dumb. David's great. I think Shaw's okay. Why do they get Guy Pearce to put on old makeup instead of fighting an old dude? There's some... the Covenant too. It's like you put James Franco in for 5 minutes at the start where he just dies, and like he only really appears in some extra material. The whole viral marketing thing with them was good, but Covenant is a piece of shit. Like saying basically that David created the aliens or recreated the aliens or whatever it was. That doesn't work for me whatsoever. That makes no sense. Imitating the engineers, that's another thing. And this is kind of what I'm doing I'm currently running Aliens Colonial Marines, and we've decided that the only canon that exists is Alien, Aliens, and Alien Isolation. To begin with, actually their first mission was boarding the Sulaco and essentially rescuing Ripley Newton Hicks. So they're still alive in this campaign in any case. But yeah, so my point is Ridley Scott lost it, but he also lost interest in it. Like Covenant was supposed to be a return to the slasher. That's why he created a monster that was virtually the same. Because he's like, okay, people were upset that we didn't have aliens in Prometheus, so here are the aliens. The xenomorph is back, kind of. Neomorphs. And but the film sucked. Those colonists were. I mean, just the fact that you would have a colony ship. I've ranted about this before. A colony ship. It's only got one shuttle. It's only got, and then it's got some kind of really fuel inefficient platform. It's like they never explained how the Nostromo's engines work. Well, they did after the fact and that sort of thing. But I mean, like, it's such a believable world. It is unbelievable to me that you have a colony ship run by complete idiots. And fair enough, they're just civilians, but they are complete idiots. No quarantine, no worrying about, characters getting infected, again, breathing atmospheres on alien planets. Just sheer stupidity, a lack of equipment, one shuttle for a colony ship with, like, what is it? 3,000 people, something like that. So yeah, I think the thing is, the new film, the director, provided they have a genuine love and interest of Alien, and mind you, how could you be a film director, and not love Alien, the original? Here you're trying to create something between Alien and Aliens, two extremely beloved films, arguably, in my head canon anyway, the only films. Prometheus is okay, the concept is okay. What they did with the engineers was just bullshit. But in my head canon, the engineers are just a race trying to mimic another race, and the aliens, there's still like threads there. Like, clearly they worshipped something that looked more like aliens, like xenomorphs, on their ships. So I don't know. I imagine that the engineers as presented are actually kind of like a fanatical sect, not necessarily representative of the entire race. So who knows? Let's see. Ben over here spitting the facts. That blasted camouflage says, no, that sounds about right with modern thinking. I used to think that everyone in horror movies was stupid and they were unrealistic. Then COVID hit and I saw how many people actually did run towards the creature. Only one shuttle is due to company cost cutting. I mean, I still don't buy it. You still need to shuttle back and forth all these things. You've got to have redundancy. You're sending a ship, and the Covenant was not being sent just a couple of light years. It was being sent like to beyond the 20 parsec limit. Getting a bit more esoteric here. Mon Capitan says to that blasted camouflage that they saw a brawl in a supermarket over the last packet of toilet paper. People are stupid in groups. Yes, they are. Definitely. But what I'm saying is, like, and okay, fair enough, they're not NASA astronauts, but they're still meant to be like Prometheus. Explain the guy who's a biologist. You see an alien creature that looks something like a worm-like, snake-like creature, and your instinct is to say, "Hey, little buddy, hi." Then you've got the geologist who decides to smoke up in his spacesuit. Just, nah, I'm not buying it. The company also, like, okay, fair enough. Weyland-Yutani is massive corporate bullshit. But Prometheus was an expedition of Weyland before Weyland went bankrupt and got bought up by Yutani. And it was like supposed to be the most expensive sort of expedition, the best of the best. There's no best of the best. I've got some crazy intersections here. They're not really ideal. I'm going to get cheap and fresh, I think, with this, and just No, I think I need to fix it. Yeah, no, this isn't good geometry, Ben. So I'm going to address the issue real quick by just creating a bit of intermediate geometry. Clearly, I have a passion for the Alien universe, but I wonder if the new director that they got will have a passion for it. What I was saying is Alien is one of the best, visually anyway, the best films ever committed to film. It's a perfect film. It's my favorite film. I've watched it. If you don't count the fact that I put it on sometimes just to go to sleep, which is a weird choice, I admit, but it is what it is, eh? Yeah, I've probably seen it. I wouldn't even be able to guess how many times. It's honestly just probably in the, I want to say like 50 odd range, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I love the film. I love the universe. I wouldn't want to live in it. And I want to obviously pay homage to it. And I'm hoping that this new director has the exact same attitude. Maybe they've even played Alien Isolation and seen how awesome it can be when done right. Because that really is probably the best Alien sequel, if I'm being honest. Like, I love Aliens, it has its place, but tonally it's quite different to Alien. Let me know if you guys want me to change topics now. Let's see. I still do like Storch's explanation for the shuttle being due to the company cutting costs. Is that in the novelization, or are you just suggesting that? Let's see. That Blessed Camouflage says, lol, redundancy, that costs money. It's a horrible dystopia to think about where capitalism can head. You can kind of only hope that the Union of Progressive Peoples is like more like the idealized version of Soviet history, not the reality, shall we say. Stosham says, STR recall. I don't know what acronym that is, or if it's a spelling mistake. Recall that it explained in Aliens that the whole colony was sacrificed, so 2 shuttles would increase chances of escape too. What? I'm talking about Covenant though. See, I used to read the novels that they had back in the day, and what else did they have? They had like comic books, Dark Horse comics, that sort of thing. Yeah, the Stephanie Perry novels, all that stuff. It's kind of like Star Wars, where Legends did it better, and Legends was crazy in some ways, but I mean, still much better, more satisfying conclusion to the original Star Wars trilogy than what we got from Disney, or didn't get. Why did that move? So yeah, hell or high water, I'm getting something out today. Aside from Delta. Delta is out! Yes. I really do hope people come back. A bit of a gamble. It's like, I'm going to spend like a month on fixing Delta up, and everyone's like, we didn't ask for this. And all I could say in return is, yeah, fair enough. My feelings. All right. Let's see. Oh, I seem to recall. All right, I haven't heard that before. And you also wrote, I seem to recall, like ATM machine, automatic teller machine. Let's close this off. Merge. So we're not really looking for aesthetics here. We're just looking for being able to actually export some pieces. It would be nice, like, if I can't get this done fully, it would be nice to at least get it test printed. Um, I suspect if I actually polled people, they would say they don't actually have a problem waiting, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I stress myself up a lot because I'm worried about what backers will think and not wanting to disappoint. Maybe I need to get better about that sort of thing. I don't know. What do you think? Let's start a poll. Wow, that kind of sounded like a John voice. John was like, I wrote to John and said, oh, I'm really stressed today. I've got to find a Christmas tree and there's none left. And he's like, do you need me to do the stream? And I'm like, no, I'll do the stream. And he's like, oh, phew. I mean, I could have cancelled the stream too, so I guess there's something to be said for doing the stream, but yeah, yeah. Let's see. Tamsin says, or a pin number. Oh yeah, the N must be number. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Redundancy, like try to you a dull soup. Stash Am says, I am blaming morning fat finger syndrome for my typos. Oh, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. Taurus Merrick says, we have to, so much to print that delay isn't a big deal. That's kind of true. I keep forgetting about that. I don't even print everything out myself. So one of the good things with the Delta is now I know it prints. Oh, okay. Dull means lentil, apparently. So, the more you know. Ugh, that's gonna stuff that up. We need to recreate. I have a feeling like if I went over and did this in Blender, I would probably find that most of the issues that I have with this have been resolved already. And that I'm actually banging my head against the window for something that honestly, if I just took the time to learn how to use a better alternative, I wouldn't have as many headaches. But then it's also the same thing like with the, I probably should have gone into Lieselot's newer files and created a manual from that. Because the old Delta one didn't have any like built-in automatic tables of contents, links, or that sort of thing. Wow, wait, do we have a finished piece? We do. Whoa. Like, awesome. Let's see. New Year's resolution: force Ben to use Blender. Is it a resolution if the word forced is involved? Mesh, combine. Yeah, I haven't really thought as far as resolutions yet. My last one didn't go so well. I ended up losing like about 10 kilos and then I gained back 7. I guess it's still a deficit. don't know that my wife sees it that way. Okay, yeah, there was some weirdness going on here, I felt, so. See, these faces here, I have a feeling they're not actually visible at all, see? So now we should be able to select these edges. Wait, there's more geometry here that feels wrong. Okay, that's right. If I go there to there, there to there, can we bridge that? No. See, 3 usually gives away... Okay, look, there's an ultra thin hidden polygon there. And another one there. And I wonder if it's all the way along there. In any case, hopefully that solves some of our issues. I love the alien universe, so I'm really excited to see what Romulus can bring, although I hate the name, if I'm being honest. Okay, looks like we've got the same sort of issue up here, where there's all these extra polygons that can probably actually be solved by merging. So I'm going to try merge. And then we'll hope for the best. What kind of a vehicle or starfighter should I make for next month? Someone was saying they were disappointed that the modular starfighter system wasn't that modular. I was like, no, the chassis were never meant to be. But the other bits and bobs are supposed to be. So, why did I do that? Oh well, no matter. Let's see, we can go there to there. To there. Something like that. Something like that, and nope. Right, will that bridge? I don't think it will. It did! There we go. Oh! Sorry, they usually come in twos. I wonder if the Romulus name is going to allude to a sequel named Remus. I hope not. It'd be funny if it's like they discover Romulans. It's a Star Trek crossover. They got desperate. I'm sure someone's fanfic that. It can't all be crew erotica. Can it? Actually, I really don't want to know the answer to that. I have a friend in one of our gaming groups that she reads a lot of fan fiction, and yeah. It's a worry. Again, see my comment about the Gorn and Strange New Worlds. A lot of alien inspiration. Plus their ships are cool. Really? I didn't like the Gorn thing at all. Like, I can see why they went in that direction. I don't think they look scary enough. Like, I can see the alien references. I really can. But the creatures aren't all that. Okay, we need to knock that out. Also, we need to fill this hole. And then I want to isolate this to make sure that I'm not closing off the wrong things. So, actually, I'm just going to do the very quick job version. And then we'll triangulate this. It's a mess, but hey, this will print. So we've got 2 fully printable parts now. Let's work on this one and see how far off it is. That's actually ready to go. You can see there's some intersection, but the slicer will sort that out. So we've got our sliding clips. So you just plug it in there, slide it across. Plug it in there, slide it across. So technically, actually I think we're quite finished, oddly enough. So let's see, this definitely belongs to the slow pinner, so I want to make sure that that's correct. So let's start naming things appropriately. So small craft, really it's just called small craft? Okay, small craft pinners there. So small craft, slow boat, and then forward, port, wing, sorry, wing, forward, and then port. Should be correct. Something like that. Our naming in Maya doesn't let you use dashes or underscores. An alien crossover with Futurama or The Muppet Show. That is good. Alrighty. Let's see. So the rear needs name too. Actually, what was that? I can see. I think it was just some kind of artifact. Alright, so if I take this name, we'll use the same nomenclature, but we're going to change the forward part to aft. I know it's technically for, but it sounds wrong when you say like for port. Maybe that is right though. Name things appropriately and can use the term pinnace. To be fair, this looks interesting. I was trying to, yeah, actually, you know, instead of deleting this, we will save it for posterity. And we'll start integrating these bits and bobs. So let's start here, because we should just be able to set the pivot point to the middle. I'm going to go to a grid. Oops, I think I turned it off accidentally instead of going into the settings. We're just going to set this to 2. The reason being that I want the snaps to be very easy to move. Then we're going to duplicate this. We're going to scale it -1 in the Z. I thought that wasn't the right direction. Oh, X, sorry. The delta's in the wrong orientation, that's why. I've been working on it for too long. Does this have a name? No, it does not. So we can just combine this. And you know, I usually do this these days. I just combine a single object, and then as long as you don't merge any polygons, you can go back and rip out like floor panels if you need to, that sort of thing. So this should be relatively straightforward. And then we do the same thing over here, I guess. This will be a bit more of an odd shape. Duplicate, -1. Ah, I did it in the Z again. Z, I should be saying. Z is not my native language. Alright, midship ventral section is what it's called otherwise, so I'm going to leave that selected, mesh, combine, delete the history. So we can clearly see here, there's still some intersection, I haven't fixed the polygons up. Let's see. To be fair, there's appropriately and not likely to cause sniggering. Yeah. I do that too. Separate pieces from models, slices treated as a single piece, so no issues. So with Maya, provided you're in, like, if you set the pivot points and orientation so they're all the same and export it, it will also export into a single object. Okay. So I guess this is the last part. I've continuously been worried, like, oh, is that the flat side? But no, it's not. This is the flat side, so we're all good. There is some intersection here. It doesn't go through a clip hole. Doesn't go through these ones, so I think we're good. We can leave that. So again, we just set the pivot point to the middle. Oops, I accidentally hit save, but there's nothing wrong with that. God, is it 4 o'clock already? Ah. -1, phrase transformations. So thankfully, it seems like this. It seems like this was in a better state than I remembered. So getting it to customers is probably fairly close. Actually, if I select that first, I think it keeps the name. So mesh, combine, history. So we've basically got our ship variant at the moment now. We just need to maybe alter the pivot points here. And we duplicate that, we name it to starboard. -1, freeze transformation. And we'll just do the same thing over here. Which I think technically makes this printable. Let's see, what are we missing, if anything? Is this in a printable state? That is... Wait, was it? Yep. Is this? Yep. Is this? Yep. This? Yes. The front section? Yes. The harder thing to try and figure out is probably going to be what these are supposed to be named. So this is done. The slow boat is printable. So you know what? That's probably a good time to stop with this. Stosh AM says, is there a possibility of a small craft cabin, a tribes or upgrade in 1.5 meter by 3 or 4? Just a what? You mean just the front part and not the airlock part? There might be more opportunities to look into that when we do the round cabin or something like that. The way it's built, it does kind of require the front and back. It can't just be cut here. Although we could do a version that didn't have the airlock built in. Will we do it for this campaign? I'd say honestly no. You do like the slow boat. Would look amazing with the alternate cockpit. Actually, yeah, it would look pretty cool with this one. And then maybe mix and match with like these fins and a different engine. Like maybe just the engine part of this one, or I don't know. I don't love that big single engine thing. But oh well. It is what it is. And at least we can say that some traveller has gotten done today. yeah, another stretch goal done and ready for test printing. The next step will be adding um, a build plate version for this and sticking it all on. I don't know if we were to do a release of it. What's better? Is it better to just I'm sorry, have the parts? Actually, it's not going to take that much effort. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. But I'm going to focus now on the Delta release because it's time sensitive. Then after that, we'll get this out and then I get to go home and maybe have a beer or something. So, for those of you who celebrate it, I hope people have a wonderful Christmas. If you don't, I hope maybe you get some time off anyway, or at least make some nice overtime. Yeah, sorry how disjointed this has been today. Sorry that it has been yet more Delta and yet more slow boat. Next week should be more interesting. I wonder if it might be a craft instead, something new for the tribes at the start of the month. We'll have to see. Anyway, have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. If not, Happy Holidays. Have a good time. Treat yourself nicely. Treat everyone else nicely. We'll see you next week. Bye. I say bye and then I didn't even have the thing to end the broadcast up, so. Bye!